Alle wissen noch und alle kennen Rabbi Hecht. Es ist so, man geht ein paar Wörter, man geht zu Achdus. Und so sein, als jetzt wie der Kuntres von Aves Israel doch nicht lang ruhig gegangen, soll das ein Kapel sein, jeder, was weiß, was ihm geht, was bringt zu Bier, soll das nehmen in Betracht. Und so Herr, was auf Buschspieler da gerät und so bringen zu Aves Israel und zu Achdus. Rabbi Hecht.
I'm going to speak in English. Since my official task, I was zeicher to be the Metallion for the Rebbe in English. And evidently the Rebbe from time to time does get a good report, on the interpretations. So with the respect and with the utmost respect and with the kind permission of the Choshev Rabbonim and the Gaboim, I would like to say a few words in English. I know that everybody is expecting a political speech, but I am not going to do that. Ich will euch lernen in English. Sie do für meine Balle Tshuva, was kennen ich kein Jiddisch. I would like to direct my remarks to my own Chaverim, my age, younger, older I can't speak to, but at least to the younger ones are those who are my level. And as you know, I like to be very down to earth. I'm a TOT fellow. I'm pragmatic. I talk to the point. I pull no punches. I tell it as it is. A lot of you are not going to like what I'm going to say tonight because Vikim Yankel Hecht to sagen Musa. But I want you to understand, I'm not telling you the Musa, I'm telling it to myself. I'm not a big Fabringer. If I knew how to Fabring by a little mashke, I would have made a Siddish Fabring. I don't know how to do that. I know how to listen to a Fabring. But I can't be the Fabringer. Am I on a pulpit? This is my business. I speak. So I'm going to do the best I know how to do within the guidelines or the confines of my ability. I think we have to come to the realization that the first thing that has to be uppermost in our minds is that we are Chassidim. We have to remember that B'nai of Echad Nochnu. We are children of one Father. We all have the same Tate, we all have the same King. There are no separate groups here. And before the Melech and before unser Vater, we are Botel Ka'afre Da'ara, we don't exist. And that is the Metzias. And if anybody thinks he is the Metzias L'gabe the Rebbe, good luck to him, he needs to learn a lot of Chassidus yet. He's far from the emes. But those of us who want to call a spade know that the only way we exist is because we have a Rebbe who gives us a little identity. And chas v'chalila, if he would withdraw the kind of recognition that he bestows upon us, we would be absolutely zero. Absolutely nothing. So based upon this yesod, when you begin with this kind of a foundation or denomination, you begin to understand there's no place in our life for one to hate the other, for one to disagree or to fight, chalila v'chas, for one to chas v'sholem, to zedel the other one, to embarrass. There's no place in the whole business if we're all nothings. So how can a nothing fight with another nothing? You can fight if you think that you're bigger than the other fellow, and the other fellow you want to make for a nothing, so you have a fight. But if you're nothing, and he's nothing, so two nothings equal nothing. It's an interesting thing. Torah tells us, by Yitzchak Avinu, when Yitzchak Avinu was nifta, that had to go to the Levaya, it says like this, Vayikvuru Eisai, Eisa the Yankiv Bonov. An interesting thing. Who then would go to the Levaya if not the children? Why does the Torah have to tell me? Vayikvuru Eisai, Eisa the Yankiv Bonov. I mean, well, it's plain logic. Who wouldn't go to that Levaya? His children shouldn't go. But then Afem soll ja gehen. The Kinder sollen nicht gehen. No. Torah wants to tell you something else. Here you had two brothers who were killing each other in their mother's belly. Right from the beginning, before they even were born, they were killing each other. But what happened? When it comes to a Gvura, it was Yaakov and Esau. They both got together, then they made Shalom. You want to know something? The biggest cover I saw Chassidim get is by Alavaya in Gedacht. That's when all the Chassidim come out, nobody is fighting. And if everything goes good, why do you have to wait Chalil V'chas to go give him his last COVID when everybody walks side by side and nobody fights? Why can't we start when we're alive? We're not Chalil Yankov Yeshu, we're Yankov Yankov. Why must there be in our Ram, in our Daladamis, such nonsense that has absolutely no place? It's only there, what can I tell you? So push the cap. They haven't got what to do with themselves. Lernen will minished. Chassidim is minished. Push the new Yatches is min. No, what could be better? You can go crazy. So you come and you have a good fight. You make a redel, a schmedel, a be nicht zu der Sache. You make a good fight, you have something to be busy with. So you're right and you talk and you talk. What kind of nonsense is this? I'll give you some of my headaches. If I guess in a fight, you wouldn't know what's doing with you. If you had a day like I had today, Khalil, in my office, I guarantee you wouldn't have no head for anything else. The only thing is, the Rebbe said, you got a lot of spare time. You haven't got what to do with it. And that's the why it's all these things that doesn't push it. When there's too much time on your hands and you don't do what Torah tells you to do, then sof this is what happens. Another thing I want to tell you. It says by Yosef HaTzadik, when Yosef had to see when he saw his brothers, and they didn't recognize him, but he recognized them. It says over there, Vayishav lahem l'sholim. He asked him about Sholim. What did he say? Vayomer. How did he ask him? HaSholim avichem hazokin asher amartem. Is your old father still okay? Is he by him Sholim? Haidenu chayv zolevtanoch. Is he still alive? What does Torah come to tell us? If he says he wants you to know how they're getting along, so why did he have to say HaSholim la'avichem? If he says Vayisha lahem l'sholim, he should have said to them, Vus macht ihr? Sholem macht ihr geht, macht ihr nicht, lebt ihr nicht, wie geht das eigentlich? Why does Torah tell us Vayomer? When he asked him about Sholim, he said, HaSholim la'avichem hazochim. As your old father, how is he getting along? But my friends, the pshat is, there is no better place to come than when you have a father or mother. If you have something that's bothering you, who more than parents are ready to listen to you? Vice versa, if Rebbe's to help, you have something good to tell, you run to tell it to your father or mother. You want to give them a little pleasure. And they have the biggest nachas. This is while they are alive. Chalila v'chas, when they are gone, everything changes. It's not the same already. When Yosef wanted to ask how his brothers are getting along, he said, HaSholem la'avichem hazok. I know one thing. If there is sholem by your father, if your father is satisfied with you, then I knew that you're okay. I don't have to ask you how you're getting along. Otherwise, he should have asked him, Ma shloimchem. Why did he ask him, HaSholem la'avichem? Because he knew that oib dem Katten is good, is automatisch weiß the Kinder is good. Because if it wouldn't be good for the children, the father couldn't have any peace. But if Araya is, if the father has it good, it's a sign that the children have it good. My friends, I want you to understand one thing. If you want to have Sholem, you have to say to yourself one thing. HaSholem lo vinu. How is the Rebbe taking all this? Geloyt Hashem Yisbach, that we went through a year of Chodim and a dank dem Eibishter. The Rebbe was with us this Yontif. So already we're working on a new deal to break his heart. And I want to tell you a secret. Everything the Rebbe knows, in every piece of paper the Rebbe gets, I don't know how he gets it. I don't send it to him, believe me. I'm saying it in the Mokum Kodesh. But he gets it. And he knows what goes on. And it hurts him. You should know is the one man who took on that battle to try to get that building into the hands of Jews so that the Rebbe shouldn't have that house waiting every single time he rides through. I said to myself, "Oh, nein, Hore, tausend Tuxedim." Where was some other Jews to come and make a gewalt mit dem Platmentier and brechen Leifen zu lawyers? I think like $5,000 for a lawyer. I don't know where he robbed the money. But a man that doesn't eat and doesn't drink and doesn't sleep because the tut made him run. This is what you call Chassidim. Beis Yankiv le'esh. If we have shalom amongst ourselves, if we have Achdus fellas, there would be 10 police cars in front, not one. If we had Achdus fellas, we would be bathing in gold. If we had Achdus, the world would kneel before us, because there is no power in the whole world like Lubavitch. V'shivim nefesh yodu avisecha mitzroima. And here is I'm going to close. Kol yoytze yerech yankiv shivim nefesh v'yosef hoya b'mitzroim, right? Then it says, Vayomas Yosef, u'v'nei Yisrael poru v'yishritzu v'yirbu v'yoyim and so on, v'atimolei ha'otz oisam. Now you got to understand what happens over here. First it says, Yoytze yerech yankiv shivim nefesh in the singular. When it says, Vayomas Yosef, it says, Vatimolei ha'oretz oisam, in the plural. Why did it change all of a sudden? It's the same people. But it's this way, you see. In the beginning, when it was Yoytze yerech yankiv, it was shivim nefesh. Do you know why it was singular? They all were like one. Because the Yosef hoya b'mitzroim. They took a look at Yosef, and they learned for themselves a Musa Haskell. They said, look what happened when we didn't get along with our brother Yosef. Look what happened. That's why we're in Mitzrayim. Because if not for the story of Yosef, they wouldn't have been in Mitzrayim. It was because of what they did to their own brother that they came to Mitzrayim. Vayomas Yosef. When Yosef died, they didn't have this Musa Haskell before their eyes. It's Vatimolei ha'oretz oisam. Hat sich jeder schön gemacht, aber sind der Chedel. Jeder ist schön aber Bus Hauser. Jeder schön allein Geschäftel. Ich gehe aus Leid. It's no more Nefesh. It's Oisam. Poru v'yishritzu v'yirbu v'yoin. Go on ganze Knacke. Der hat schon mehr Geld vergeben. Schießt er schön auf jedem. Der hat mehr Power. Bracht er jedem. Meint er auf jedem. Tritt er auf jedem. Jeder Oisam. Es ist ein Gewinn an Oisam. Es ist Ois Nefesh. Es ist Ois Einzige. Eins Geschäft. Rabbi say, I am a practical guy. I'm telling you again, and I speak to everybody here from the bottom of my heart. The whole trouble with us is that we don't know the difference between a nicker and a tuffle. We get involved in such a rotten, stinking nonsense that it's a bezoyan. Push it a bezoyan. Now we lower ourselves to cover that Torah, to cover that Chassidus, the coming of Kinder for heaven. I want to tell you something. I take a look at these Misnagdim. So a whole year I say Kaddish for them. When I say Yisker, because they're as dead as a horse. They don't budge, they're sick, and they're kehillis. This is bote, never bote, elam over there. Real bote kvaras. They sit there like dead neshamas. What can they hear from a dead rabbi? What did you expect to hear? Oh, we're supposed to be Levitic Yidden. And we get involved and throw our covet that everybody should step on us and spit on us and laugh from us and have a good time. I want to tell you something. We are bringing more simcha to the outside world than anybody else, because what do you think they do? They dance on our chum, Chalila. If anything goes a little bit wrong, they got a whole geschäft going around. In all the mikvahs, they're busy. And the mikvahs get very busy those days, because they want to get the last news on Lubavitch. What's the next unglik that they got coming up to them? If Chas v'Sholom something isn't so 100% with somebody, they got to bring another one. Say to it up, called Avos Sheboilo. When you start to investigate, you look into their records, so that English is Shemer and Matzel sein. Die Bizyonis in the Chazoi Grace push it Ashanda Nachab. But I say to myself, what could I expect from such chayes? What would I expect? This is untamed animals. There's nobody that can control them. Feel the mention. What did you do? Thank God. Thank God it's like this, not any worse. But we, Lubavitch, we fellas who got, what should I tell you? We got the right to nicht verstellt werden. Such a heilige Rebbe, what the whole world of the Hunds mekan, and they can't take it. And we were zeichen to be mekusha to him. Where are we? What's going on over here? And I want to tell you, you hear? If anybody here, I say this 1,000 times over, thinks he's kidding the Rebbe, you want to know something? When that Rebbe sits by that Fabringen, and he looks through the thousands of people, he has a computer working in his head, and he got the rundown on every one of us. You hear? You want to know something? Not only does he know what you did in the morning and last night, but he even knows what you're thinking when you're sitting over there looking him in the eye. So you think when you go like, that the Rebbe thinks, oh, there's a faker gun, it's a face, he's thinking about tomorrow, when he's going to be over there, how he's going to work it out. And you think you're kidding him, huh? He looks and he makes himself dinner like you don't know nothing. L'chaim, l'chaim, right? L'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim. You heard nothing, huh? Those little l'chaim, every time he makes a with that like this and then goes with his beard like that, don't mean nothing. This guy wears his hat like this, he got to just look like him, because if he doesn't wear his hat just like the Rebbe, he ain't no chassid, you know. Then he has to remember when he puts the gadol on, he has to put it on just the way the Rebbe stands with the gadol. And if Chas v'sholem, he ties it another way, he missed it. Didn't do the right thing. Rabbi Hecht was the secretary by the Rebbe. No, the Rebbe used to have never moments when he was never zerbroch. And he tried, you know, to make him happy. So he once walks into the Rebbe and says, weißt Rebbe, Rabbi Hecht hat noch geguckt, noch spioniert. Noch gemeint, aber schon gehabt, zum Sof gefühlt euch, als die ganze Sache selbst gar anders. Hast du nicht das? Wir darfst doch aufhören im Narren, Rebbe. You gotta stop kidding yourself. I'm a praying boy. I'm not a big chassid. There are much bigger chassidim than here, I'm telling you, than I am. I can't claim to be like, have the ideas of chassidus like a lot of you fellas here. You can trim me, most probably. But I know one thing. I know that I'm nothing, and you think you're something. See, that's the difference. So I'm better off than you are. See? And before you'll come to understand what a nothing I am, it's going to take you a long time. So Rabbi say, in spite of the fact that this meeting should have been called in Aseret Yemei Teshuvah, but it seems that it's always time for this kind of an asifah. And I tell you boys, wake up. It's later than you think. And if the Rebbe is talking about the last hours before the Golus is ending and Mashiach has to come, I tell you one thing, if Mashiach walked in right now and took a look at some of our faces, we'd go right under the bench. So if you got nothing to do with yourself, start working a little bit on yourself. And don't worry about the next one if he drives a Lincoln Continental or drives a Cadillac or drives a Tin Lizzie. It's not your business. If the Rebbe wants him to drive that, he'll drive it. And if he wants him to have nachas, he'll have it. And if he wants him to have money, he'll get it. And if he wants him to have pain, he's going to have it. We don't decide. We don't decide what should be with the next one. And if he won't have it, the other guy, will you have it? You won't have it, and he won't have it. So what's going to be? I say if somebody has more than me, so the Rebbe back licken as a love, what's the Rebbe will him geben? What's the Rebbe will him geben? I was into the Rebbe Ches Chanukah, right? Do you remember that? The historic time when the Rebbe called me in. And everybody was mechanic that the Rebbe called me in, right? So I'm talking to the Rebbe about a certain individual. A plainer boss of Adam, you hear? Doesn't daven, doesn't say, not a Shem Shabbos, doesn't know any Chassidus. He doesn't know how you say Lubavitch. He thinks I'm a Rebbe. So you can imagine what a nut this is. He thinks that I'm a Rebbe. He says, you got the Rebbe, I got you. So he thinks I'm the Rebbe. You can't help it. What did he say? His wife, got sick. So I wrote a zettel to the Rebbe. I called him up that the Rebbe said, he doesn't know what Askalatziyah and what that means. I had to sit down and give him a whole speech. He said, you want me to watch the cemetery? What do I have to do? I'll get a cop to stand by the cemetery. I said, no, not that job. Tell you, the Rebbe goes to the tziyah. He's going to mention your wife's name. He says to me, I'll tell you the truth, Rabbi Hecht. You know, I love my wife very much. And I need my wife. But I tell you the truth, I'm not concerned. I'm more concerned about the Rebbe, because the whole world needs the Rebbe. My wife I need, but the whole world needs him. I can't think about myself now. Let's talk about how does the Rebbe feel. So I was in there, I tell the Rebbe this word. So the Rebbe gives a schmeichel, then he becomes very serious. And he says to me, ob ihr sollt ihm sagen, mehr soll also nicht sagen. Weil der Rebbe hat genug Jahren von mir und von ihr euch. Aber damals ist gebeten für ihre Refuah. Why do I want to tell you? You have to understand that we have something that nobody else got. But if we act the way we act, it's a push it a bezoyim. It's a shame. We ought to be ashamed of ourselves. And today, tomorrow, I don't know, pashkviln, shmashkviln, I haven't even got time to read them. I have no time to read that stuff. There are more important things that I have to read. But at least I think from this Asifa should come out a push it to cut out the nonsense. Forget about all this garbage that goes on in the street. Be concerned with the Rebbe. Be concerned with our families, with Yiddish Nachas, Chsidish Nachas. Be concerned with the Shunah. If we had to save a building, well, I'm telling you again, we didn't stop yet on that building. But you have to know that we have to say Hashem if we let that go through our hands. And this is the way in everything else. And I say again, don't chas v'sholom, I'm talking to you, as you see, just as ein kedabi shel chayehu. This chas v'sholom from top down. I tell you one thing, fellas. If we'll have Achdus between ourselves, you will see that we will conquer the world. And das ist nicht Militzoisius. We will mamish conquer the world. 3/4 of the world we conquered already. It's just another quarter we got to take. That's the toughest part. Because today I had a big delegation come from a big national organization, and he says to me, this young American boy, you know, he says that we today, the Gedolei HaTorah are speaking about the Kiruv Rechokim. For the last 5 years we're working on Kiruv Rechokim. We said to him, we are very fortunate that it took you 35 years to come to the realization of what our Rebbe taught us 35 years ago. So boys, we got a 35-year head start on you. Now they're coming to the Kiruv Rechokim. You understand what that means? Which means that Sof Kol Sof Yakiru V'Yedu Kol Yoshrei Sevel Gilachot Ticha Kol Berach Tishovar Kol Loshoy. That's what it is. And the Rebbe today is little by little, but I shouldn't say little by little, but a lot by a lot. They're coming to the HaTorah who the Rebbe is. But if we should kill it from the inside, remember the achayas that we're carrying. And we gotta stick to each other like glue. This chash v'sholem to separate one from another. And if one gets in trouble, or a meiset gets in trouble, the whole gang has to rally to it. Not one, but 1,000,000 of us have to come to the help. If it means money, it's money. If it means help, it's help. Whatever it is. We can't sit by and say, well, if there's a sign up, that meiset, that this meiset will make it, he won't make it. That's not the way we gotta talk. We gotta stick to each other in every single thing we do. And I'm sure, not because of me, but because we have a Rebbe soll gesund sein, that he'll schlep us out of the blood, this is what we're in. The Rebbe that helps in that Sof Kol Sof. Everything in the Mashkocha Protis, most probably you had to come a time for this too. And although I did Tefetz Barosh, I think there are much more people who are who have the better credentials than I got to stand up here and talk. But they asked me to do it. I'm doing it by Kabbalah Soil, with a Tfilah to Hashem Yisbach, that the Rebbeinu Shalom will help, that what was spoken here tonight will have something else. I don't know if it'll have 100%, let it have 10%, but lo zayin, like the Rebbe used to say, a hazose. Let's rizach, give it a hazik a bissel, mit dem Eberschen Silf. In the cause of Mames, the Rebbe soll gesund und stark sein, should take it out of this finsteren Golos in which we are, l'kabel pnei Moshiach zitkenu, and it should be v'sholev u'v'shalver u'v'yahava, v'achva v'reyos b'mherer b'yomeinu amen.